Everybody, this is Platinum Eagle Podcast, and I'm your host, Platinum Eagle. We're going to get into this here victors or victims segment. Before I do so, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff. I thank y'all so much for tapping in with me, though. You know what I'm saying? Last week's victors and victims segment, I got 9 teams who won right. Of course, 16, so 7 wrong. That is way too many wrong. I'm not usually getting that many wrong, but it was opener week, and I'm gonna just say that was my reasoning for doing so. I didn't think that the Detroit Lions would fold to the Green Bay Packers. That was one of them. And I don't know why I thought the Giants was better. They're not. Maybe with Dart behind, behind the center, maybe he's better. Maybe the team's better. I'm sorry, but I don't think so. Not right now. The offensive line is still weak, and they still can't, move the ball like they should be able to move, like they would like to move the ball. I'm not saying like they should, because I don't think they should win or move the ball at all. Because I don't get down with the Giants, as you already probably know. Anyway, we're gonna get into this video. We're gonna get into this week's picks, and first off, happening in maybe an hour or some change from now. Washington Commanders versus Green Bay Packers. Green Bay's at home. Green Bay had a great game last week. I ain't gonna hold you. The Commanders, I thought they'd play a little better too. I know I said I thought they would lose, but I thought they would play better. I'm saying Green Bay in this game. I think Jordan Love will not be as good as he was last week. It's not a hope thing ever at all. Like I said, it's not something I hope or anything like that. Only thing I hope for is the Philadelphia Eagles win and our division rivals to lose. But I know that's kind of contradicting when I said it's not hope. It really, real talk, I'm going off of what I saw last week with Green Bay and last week what I saw with the Commanders. Every game, they're different scripts. I get it. But I'm taking Green Bay to win this one here, 23-19, Green Bay Packers at home. San Francisco 49ers versus New Orleans Saints. In this case right here, I think San Francisco played a pretty decent game last week. The New Orleans Saints played an okay game. They did get beat up on a little bit. But in this case, I'm still picking San Francisco. I'm sorry. This is hard to judge because Brock Purdy may be out for a couple weeks. And I thought last week that he might be out as well. And I said my little alternate picks in case he was out. And this week, I think he actually will be out. So I'm picking the New Orleans Saints to win this game, and I'm gonna go 24 New Orleans Saints to 17 Brock Purdy less 49ers. Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. This here is a no-brainer. However, the Cleveland Browns do play their division rivals pretty tough, but I'm still picking the Baltimore Ravens to have a bounce-back game because they did lose last week in a game that I picked them to win. I thought they would beat the Bills. They almost did, but almost don't win the Super Bowl. A friend of mine told me back in the day, and he's right. I'm picking Baltimore Ravens to win this game 25-17. Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions don't look so tough right now. They're looking a little pedestrian, to say the least. I'm going to pick in this game here the Chicago Bears to lose, believe it or not, to the Detroit Lions. And I'm going to pick 19-13 Detroit Lions to win it. So they'll have a bounce-back game this week, inshallah. Denver Broncos versus the Indianapolis Colts. Denver Broncos, I think their defense is going to be on too much. And should the Indianapolis Colts win this game, then I might have to start looking at it a little different because the Denver Broncos, I believe, is probably one of the tougher teams in the AFC. Only time will tell, but that's what I surmise as of right now. So I'm picking Denver Broncos to win this game, and I think I even gave the score prediction earlier today. I'm going 27 Denver to 20 Indianapolis Colts. The Carolina Panthers versus Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals looked pretty good last week. And the Panthers, well, you know, they're the Panthers. I haven't really seen a whole lot, even though Bryce Young, I think he's looking better. I still don't believe that he's going to win against the Arizona Cardinals. I do pick the Cardinals in this one here, and I'm going Cardinals 31-9. The game the Birds is waiting for. At least I hope so. Of course, Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs is at home. We did beat them at home a couple seasons ago. I'm going, of course, and I'm always going to pick the Eagles. Maybe I'm a little biased when it comes to this pick right here, but it's my team. Come on now. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think we was going to win all of them, even though I know it's not feasible that we win all of them. But anyway, I'm still going, even though Kansas City Chiefs, I know Kansas City Chiefs is going to be ready to rebound this one here. They very seldomly lose, but they definitely very seldomly lose back-to-back games. And if you think back to last season, they already lost back-to-back games. One, of course, being by us. This will be back-to-back-to-back games. I think they'll actually lose 3 games in a row. I don't think they're the same team as they have been. I think a lot of teams has caught up to what they were doing. They're without Worthy. They're without Rashee Rice. And I think they're a little susceptible to getting beat up. They only got Hollywood Brown. He's no slouch, I understand. But him, and I think they got a new fast track star out there, wide receiver. Forgot his name. I don't know too much about him. He's a rookie, if I'm not mistaken. Nonetheless, I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles to win this one here. Not as big as the Super Bowl, but I think we'll still win pretty big and decidedly. I would go 29 Philadelphia Eagles to 19. Go Birds. The Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. I think the Buffalo Bills win this game hands down. And I also think, as a side note, that Justin Fields played pretty decent last week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they lost, but he played pretty decent. I was very surprised. I think the guy got some game in him. I really do. You know what I'm saying? I hate the fact that I don't think that he was treated that well with the teams he's been on, as far as them building around him. Right now, after he left the Chicago Bears, you can understand why they wouldn't want to build around him, because he wasn't necessarily the quarterback that they wanted in the first place. The coaches, that of course from Pittsburgh, they didn't. Tomlin didn't pick him, and the GM didn't pick him over there in Pittsburgh. So I think that's part of the reason why they didn't really necessarily build around him then. Plus, they had Russell Wilson over there last year, so you know it really wasn't no need. But in Jets, of course, you know he got traded, or I think he got traded if I'm not mistaken, or he's a free agent, whatever. However, he's over there with the Jets. And again, they don't have no real reason to build around him unless he showed them a reason this year that they should probably build around him, you know. But nonetheless, I'm picking the Buffalo Bills to win this game here. I'm gonna go 33-10. New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. The New England Patriots, I think will bounce back. They lost last week. That was one of the picks that I picked to win last week. The New England Patriots, I think, will beat the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins right now is a dumpster fire. I have to see something. I got to see something with substance to say that they're actually better. I didn't think they was all that good in the beginning of the season. I still don't think they're all that good, and I know the season's just begun, really. But I'm picking the New England Patriots to win this game, 21-13. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals won last week, I think, and the Jacksonville Jaguars won last week as well. I picked both of them to win last week, but this week here, I think, and this is a hard one to pick right here, I ain't gonna lie. I think the Cincinnati Bengals will pull this game off, and I think the score will be, I'm gonna say 26-15. Jaguars get 15 points, I think. They'll get outscored. They got some wide receivers over there, and from my understanding, everybody's relatively healthy. So, New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, of course, you know I wish both of them could lose or tie. That'll work for me as well. But I thought the Giants would be better, as I said last week, and I said before the season started. But they are who we thought they were and who we thought they are. But I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys. Unfortunately, it don't taste right saying it. But I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys over the New York Giants. 23, Dallas, 13, Giants. Seattle Seahawks versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh's at home. In this matchup, I think Pittsburgh will win. They won last week. I think they'll win again this week. Aaron Rodgers looked pretty decent last week. It was looking pretty Rodgers-esque. He wasn't looking like he did last season, and we really didn't see much from him at all the season before that. But I do think Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be a little bit too much for the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm picking them to win this one here. And I'm picking the score to be 30-17 Pittsburgh. Los Angeles Rams versus the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are not a good team. I thought they'd be just a little bit better this season, but they are not. And I'm picking the Los Angeles Rams, who pulled out a real strong, tough, hard-fought game last week. I'm picking them to win 31-14. Then we have the Sunday night matchup, Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings, they fought back to get back in the game last week. Their game was pretty impressive. It didn't start off that way, but it ended off the way that Minnesota would like it to end off. J.J. McCarthy did his thing, man. He looked pretty good. So I'm picking J.J. McCarthy to get his second win in the NFL against the Atlanta Falcons. My score prediction will be 24 Minnesota, 16 Atlanta Falcons. Monday Night Football, we got a doubleheader. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Houston Texans. I picked Houston last week, man. I thought Houston was gonna, and they looked pretty good until they didn't. But I'm picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game, and I think they'll win it decidedly. I want to say 28-10. And to end off the doubleheader and the week, we got Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers looked pretty good last week. I'm going in this matchup. This one's a hard one to gauge as well. Though I haven't seen much from the Las Vegas Raiders. They did win last week. I picked them to lose last week. That's why it's kind of hard, man. Who I think is going to win this game right here is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they're charged up. I think they look good. I think it'll be a close one. So I think it'll be 24-27 Los Angeles Chargers up top. Thank y'all so much for watching Victors or Victims. We'll see how many victors we'll have at the end of the week. And I'm going to come back and holler at y'all about it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I do. You know, I don't have no problem when I'm wrong. I told you it's all for, ish and giggles as well. But I do try, because I'm very competitive, I do try to have them, on point for the most part. It just, last week I got caught thinking that teams is going to be what they was last year. Of course, it's the first week of the season, but you just never know until the game is played. Nobody, and I mean nobody, really gets every team, every matchup right, week in and week out. But there's my video. I thank y'all so much for tuning in, tapping in with me all the time. We'll talk to you in the next one. And I'll come up with my video pretty soon. The matchup of the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs at home. I'll tell you what we need to do, I think we need to do to win this game. It should be a quick video, but I do want y'all to tap in and see what it looks like, okay? It's always fly, Eagles fly. It's always go Birds. And I thank y'all so much, man. Oh, as you already know, and I'm going to keep saying it until y'all get it. It's un-American. I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds.